Hello and welcome to this incredible edition of Crush Your Mountain Wellness. And I say it's incredible because I have an incredible person with me. She is a very dear friend of mine that we met in school, and we never lost touch, and we've coached each other, we've worked with each other, we encourage each other, and I can't say enough about it. But let me introduce her to you. My dear friend, Dr. Rita Lewis, is a science educator communicating life science principles, techniques, and their connectivity of disease manifestations to the mechanism to audiences with diverse science proficiencies. She graduated from the city of New York. She has a PhD in biology, immunology, as well as a PhD in molecular and cell developmental biology. She's an incredible young lady, and on top of all of that, she is a licensed massage therapist as well as a health coach, and that's where we're going to talk with her about today. Why is massage therapy so important when it comes to maintaining our wellness, when it comes to reducing glucose, reversing diabetes, reducing our hypertension when we have challenges like that. So without any further ado, Miss Dr. Rita Lewis, welcome to Crush Your Mountain.
Thank you, Henry. Thank you so much for welcoming me and having me to your program. Nice to see a fellow life coach making strides, a fellow West Indian.
You got it, darling.
Paving the way.
After this, we're getting some Kalula and crab,
I just want to say something about, before we get too far away. My degree is in biology, and the program I was in is a cell molecular and developmental biology, but my research for my PhD was centered using lupus mice as a model. So that's where the immunology comes in. And I graduated from City University School of Graduate School and University Center in New York, although I did all my research at the campus of City College in Manhattan.
And
so I know there was a lot of stuff that you're working through.
So you have a ton of stuff. I tried to back up the truck for all of that, girl. So here's an interesting thing. You're teaching at Medgar College now. Yes. Yeah. So there's a lot of young minds that she's influencing. And so this lady is a superstar, and we're going to talk a little bit about being a licensed massage therapist. But first off, just so that folks know, okay, because people have all sorts of ideas. What is a massage therapist, and why is it we don't use the word masseuse? Why do we avoid doing that? What's a massage therapist?
Okay, so massage has been around for a while. I can't go back to the exact date. It's back in BC, and it has come together based on all these other traditional works that have been around in ancient times, back to China, we got influence in Japan, etc. But we are now prefer the term massage therapist as opposed to masseuse, because masseuse was a gender specific referring to a female. And then we want to move away from that because there are also associations and connotations of people who would be doing a massage and want what they call a happy ending, which I didn't know about until I went to massage school. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And someone said, oh, that means sex at the end, I'm like, oh. So I think that the connotation, the sexual connotations that for those in the world that use this as a massage as an avenue for whatever reason. And so they're trying to work away from that. So massage therapist is not gender specific, and also today massage therapy has now gone into more into the folds and the realms of healthcare.
Right, which is
So
perfect.
it's actually used as part and should be part of your wellness plan.
That's perfect, because I was going to ask you, what types of massage are there? What type of therapies are there?
But they have different modalities,
Okay,
and things are being learned and added more and more over the years, and things becoming more popular. So we have most people when they start off learning massage, they will do the Swedish method. So we'll do a Swedish massage, but we have people who will do working within that context of massage, not PowerPoint, trigger points. They'll do manipulation. They'll work on the fascia. People do fascia balance, and people do work with organs and internal organs to help that. People who would do sacral work to help with massage. So they have a lot of different areas. I don't know them all. I'm still learning as I go along and get new things. And so there are a lot of different things that we do under the realm of a massage therapist, or under the umbrella of a massage therapist.
you mentioned a couple of words there, and a lot of my people are not familiar with certain things, certain medical terms. So to define the fascia, sacral, those different things for us.
So let's, before we get there, just let me lay this. So to be a massage therapist in New York State, you need to do 1,000 hours of school. They do it hours wise, so they don't do it like, depending on where you go, right? At least you have to do 1,000 hours of schooling. They have some schools that will get you, you'll go there, like Swedish Institute, and you'll get an associate's degree in massage therapy. But they also add other classes, I believe, and they'll give you a whole array of different modalities within the realm of massage therapy. If you go to other schools, may not give you that. So it depends on the school you go to, they'll give you exposure to different modalities within the realm of massage therapy. You have people, so you'll find that there are people that have their own institutes or their own schools that will specialize in other things. People would be sports massage. So athletes always get massage, right? So people specialize in, people who work in sports massage. There are people who will do what I was recently introduced to with the term as fascia balancing.
Okay.
So you could think of fascia, it's a connective tissue that is a tissue that connects everything in your body. So if I took out the cells that make up your organs, and I left everything else that's around the cell, I will have a framework of everything that was in your body. That is the fascia. So it's a tissue, it connects everything in your body. Consider, if you want to visualize it, if you get chicken, you got a piece of chicken and you take off the skin, and then there's this light, transparent, gel-like but semi-solid substance that you see. That's fascia.
Okay, so I have chicken in the oven right now. So you use a good illustration. I'm going to look for it when I pull it out.
No, this is before you cook it.
Well, I got a couple of raw pieces in there. I'll check them out.
Okay.
Yeah,
you put your hand under there and then you try this slimy sort of stuff you can get, and you kind of pull at it.
So this is a natural part of the body, and more specifically in our case, the human body. Okay, it's the connective tissue, and by massaging that loosens things up. What benefits do we have as far as that? As far as the loosening and manipulating the fascia that way.
All right, so the fascia. So let's talk about massage first, John. So usually with massage, we're going to manipulate the tissue, the soft tissue of the body. Okay. So, you go to a massage therapist after an athlete after working out, or you go to the physiotherapist, right? They would work on relaxing the tissue in an area that they're working on. You have a cramp, your muscles tighten up, and you go and you get a massage. We instinctively massage ourselves. Your leg hurts, what do? You massage it.
Right.
That you may not know the underlying basis, foundation, science behind it, and we're still evolving to get that information and put it on record. But you instinctively will massage your body,
Mm.
right? So we work the tissue, we help move the blood in that area. So once we get the blood moving, we start feeling and seeing changes in that area of the tissue. With fascia, we don't manipulate it the same way because fascia is a semi-solid gel-like substance, like jello. Yes, let's think of jello, right? Maybe not as sturdy. If you manipulate the jello with your hands, all you do is crumble it. You don't want the jello to crumble. You want the jello to be more pliable, right? You want it softer. So what would you do? You'll take it from the fridge. If you put it outside, and the heat will gradually allow the gel of the jello to be observed, right? So we do a similar thing with the fascia of the body. We can't take it and work, but we can use our body heat of 90 something degrees or 30 something degrees Celsius. If you took your hand, when you want to warm up your hands in the winter, what do?
Rub them together.
Or you stick it under your arm,
Right.
right? Just stick it under your armpits, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have on gloves, but it's cold, you can't turn the key. If you're coming from doing a 2-mile walk in the winter and you don't have gloves, you can't turn the key, you can't hold the key. You have to warm up your hands. What do? You stick it under your arm.
Yes.
And that eventually gets it warm, and now you could move a lot better. So you do the same thing with the fascia, because sometimes that tissue could become more solid than gel. And you have to melt it. So you're going to melt it with heat. So we'll use our hands, rest it on there, let the body heat, release that constriction, and we'll work on that. And so that's how we work with fascia.
Nice. So that's a totally different thing than, because sometimes people turn on the TV and they see people putting these rocks on the back, things like that, or they use the little jars and they put them on there. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about something hands-on. We're talking something.
So manipulated fascia is different from cupping.
Okay.
Massage therapists also get trained. We can take classes and get trained to do cupping. Cupping, it's a whole. I am not versed in cupping.
Mm-hmm.
Like colors, this, that, and the other. But we can use it to work on deeper fascia in the body, because now you have a glide. You can help you glide the muscle and undulate the muscle and manipulate the muscle without overworking your hands, without overworking the muscle. Because if you overwork the muscle, what you're trying to do gets negated. Right? That's not what you want. So they have those are different modalities that we use.
So that's it. Why is it good for someone with type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure?
Well, massage, so when you get massaged, so you were going and you get a full body massage, you will tend to fall asleep or drift into a semi-conscious state. on the table. And what they do in massage is actually they're gonna activate the autonomic nervous system, which controls hormones, blood pressure, blood heart rate, a number of different things in your body through the vagus nerve, one of the big cranial nerve. And if you, they found that, and there's a study that came out in 2011 that was based on information that was known. If you get massaged every day, after a week, they can show that there's a drop in your blood pressure.
Wow.
And that drop in the blood pressure would stay for at least a week after you have stopped getting treatment.
Wow.
So it helps lower blood pressure. It also, because of the impact on the autonomic nervous system, which is a system in your body that you can't, that does things automatically, your breathing, your heart rate, etc. Also helps reduce stress. So this group in 2011, they submitted a paper to the, I always call it PubMed, the national, because I always never remember the name, the NIH National Library of Medicine and the National Center for Biotechnology Information. So this is a database where scientists, when they do their research and they do primary research, they will put together a report. They will submit it to a scientific journal in that area, because there are a lot of scientific journals. And in order for their paper to be published, they have to undergo what's called a peer review.
Right.
So other experts in the field get to read their paper and critique it and say, well, okay, well, you didn't show this, or we think you need to show that, to give us evidence that what you're saying is true.
Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to just jump in here a couple of things so that our friends understand. Let's backtrack a little bit. And my dear Dr. Rita mentioned something very interesting. Okay, she talked about your fight or fight nervous system, the autonomic nervous system. Okay, so let's just understand this. When you go to work, let's say you are in light industry. Let's say you got to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning. From the time you wake up, your body is engaged in a level of stress. You are basically in the fight or flight mode. Either you've got to fight the traffic, or you've got to fly away from the supervisor, the team leader, or you've got to do something else, or you've got to fight to get those boxes out, or you've got to fight to get the production done. When you are in that, you are in an elevated state. Your blood pressure is high, your glucose levels are high, and guess what's happening also in your mind and to your mind? You are being driven to intake foods that are not good for you. You have that high carb craving. Why do you think they have those machines in the break room? Why do you think they have them at every corner? Okay, now bring it back to the massage. When you have the massage, you are engaging the rest and digest part of your autonomic nervous system, and your body now is being soothed. We talked a little bit about this with Dr. Stanyek last week. We talked about the power of touch. Well, this goes even more deep than that, because now the body, the muscles are being manipulated, and the body is being soothed. And as Dr. Rita said, you go into that state of semi-consciousness. You are sort of transported, and your body actually increases its healing propensity. Oh, and by the way, PubMed, we can call that the Google of the medical journals. So you can go to PubMed.org and you can pull up any review paper, any sort of information on medications, treatments, studies that were done in terms of whatever challenges a person may have, be it hypertension, diabetes, you name it, it's there. And I'm not the only one that gets it. She mentioned it first, so in fact, she might have a few published herself up there. But that said, you understand that this is all not just legit, but it's vital for your health. And that's why I brought her on. Now, Doc, I've got to ask you this. You said that they do it every week. So how often would you recommend a person get massage, a therapeutic massage?
In this study, because they wanted this study that I saw in 2011 that I referred to, they were looking at the effect of heat and massage on the autonomic nervous system. And so they had to do certain measures, heart rate, difference in heart rate, and as you mentioned, fight or flight state, your heart rate is elevated. When you're not, your heart rate will change, right? And so their studies, they did a 40-minute massage every day. And then they check these symptoms. They recorded at the beginning, they recorded a week after. So you have to get your numbers because numbers don't lie, right? Athletes get massage after they work out. Massage has always been something I think that before I got into it, has always been something that rich people do. Okay? Depend on your economic status. Depend on where you put how you value your health care or your wellness. Massage might fit into that. But we always under the perception that rich people get massage because it's expensive. But now we have all these places popping up. We have independent people working. You can book a massage every week once a week, twice a week. When you talk to the practitioner, because they are healthcare practitioners, okay, after they examine you, they're going to take an intake of your body and read the signs as to what needs to be done or what is happening in your body, posture-wise, where your bones are, your range of motion, and you telling them what you are dealing with, what you want. They will now come up with a plan for you based on what you would like to do and what needs to be done and space it out so that you can get massage. Some people may want to get massage every day but can't afford it. You're not going to do it unless you have a friend who's a massage therapist and you're like, hey, I can't give you massage. But
I'm far away. I'm down here in North Carolina. I can't get up there every week.
I know. But so you might get once a week, twice a week, depending on what. And I always say that people are like, oh, you can't spend other people's money. But I think we, as a person coming into massage or wanting to get a massage, you have to still consider your pocket. Can you afford it? And that sometimes will also impact on how often you get a massage. But a massage once a week or a massage every 2 weeks, a massage works into your health care plan of wellness. People go to yoga every day. Right? People go to yoga every day. Or they go to the gym every day. Add massage to that at least once a week.
Yeah. It's interesting that you mentioned that because, especially down here, there are places that have programs and they have offers where you can go every week. The other side of that is you could go to the mall and you have these little shops and you have little Chinese massage therapists or massagers, and these gentlemen and ladies, they'll kind of work on you right away, but they're not there to give you the actual care that you need. Meaning, when you go there, they give you a price list for how many minutes, and they just do what you do, and that's it. You might tell them, I got this thing right here, and they'll focus on that. But really, what the doctor here is talking about is the actual standard of care that a person needs in order to target their health challenge. You notice you mentioned a health care plan. So in my work as a health coach, I sit down with my clients and I develop a health care plan. We know exactly what we're doing each week to get them from point A to point B. You see, we know exactly how to give them the right support, the right system, as well as the right accountability for what they need. And that's what's done also with health coaching and with massage therapy. That said, Dr. Rita, do you incorporate the use of massage in your health coach packages?
Well, my health coach package, yes, I want to do that. Offer for, so the basic would not necessarily have the massage. The second level would have massage offer as part of the package. But I just want to say something about when you go in, you talked about you going to these little places on the mall. You get what's called, so there's table massage, where we're going to lie down and you kind of half fall asleep and you get up, you're groggy, you don't realize you've been on the table for an hour, it feels like you've been there for 5 minutes, right? And you have chair massage. So what you have described is what you'll find with chair massage. So you'll go in, you'll get on a chair. Massage therapists also do that. You'll find that at corporate events. You can have a corporation might want to have massage, but I can't do table massage for your clients during lunchtime. You can do chair massage. So they'll come in, bunches of therapists will come in, they will come with the chairs, and they'll give you a 10, 15-minute massage, working the back, the neck, head, arms, but you're not lying down. And there too, you could also get into this semi-conscious stage of relaxation where your heart rate goes down, your breathing slows down, and this all gets the rest and digest portion of the autonomic nervous system activated, so you de-stress. The thing is with, like in New York, and cases that have a requirement, licensing requirement, or school, a number of hours requirement of schooling, like New York in particular, you cannot touch someone as a massage therapist without the license by the state. Okay, it gets you in trouble if you take the chance to do that. And the training as a massage therapist, because you have to know contraindications. There's some things, there were times that they tell you someone with excuse me, someone who has cancer, that when I was in school, they wouldn't encourage you to massage them. But now there are oncology massages given as part of the treatment for cancer patients. We have it for veterans. Okay? We have for geriatrics. So there's variations in the treatment and approach, having to listen. We have for children, massage for infants. And so you find they have all these different avenues that are, or areas that are opening up for massage therapists as part of the healthcare. And they will, in these cases, will interact and contact your doctor, so your doctor knows. There is a advertisement that talked about a holistic approach to I think it was Malibu House, I think. They used to talk about this holistic approach to your recovery from drug addiction. You see some cancer specialty hospitals, oncology hospitals, talk about a holistic approach, and they talk about the touch of healing touch, which is what massage is, right? It's a healing touch. It's a touch that is specific. It's not a creepy touch, because when you go to a massage therapist, you got to sign off papers saying that I give you permission to touch my body. And that record is kept. What the person does, they have to write notes, what they found, what they observed, what the client tells them, what they did, what was the effect when they retested. So like a scientist, massage therapy, and people may not see it that way, right? So a scientist has a question that they need to answer, some observation they've made, and they want to test it. They will carry through a series of, okay, if I do this, and this, then this, and this should happen. That's the hypothesis, right? And now they have to test it. So if I say A is going to happen, I have to be able to, how do I test so that I can get that result? What a massage therapist is when you come in is they evaluate you. Your posture, they check, are your bones this, are you this, do you move your joints this, are there any resistance when I move this, when I move that, how far can, so they take all that record. Then they go through to work on whatever it is that is best to start at to give you the best result. And at the end of the session, an hour later, they then go through the test all over again and see what is there different from when I start to when I'm finished. How does the client feel? Did the client feel any difference in their body? So you've done your experiment in 60 minutes. Okay. What else needs to be done? Okay, we still have X, Y, and Z to do, so we come back next time and we work on this. In the meantime, you do X, Y, and Z. That's basically what they do.
And that makes so much sense. And I'm glad that you're explaining it to my folks so that they get an understanding that this is, as I said, a standard of care for your health care program. Now, I keep stressing that because what we tend to do is we tend to go to the doctor and we stay 15 minutes. We wait half an hour to an hour before they see us, and they spend 15 minutes with us basically to tell us what medication we should take to treat our symptoms so we can come back the next time so you can tell us what medication to take to treat our symptoms. You see, the healthcare plan is for you to do your best to get well, to attack the problem. Some of that will include massage, be it full body, be it fascia, and what have you. Some of that will include actual deep breathing exercises. Some of that will look at how you're eating, not just what you're eating, but how you're eating, who you are being when you eat, and give you action plans to that effect. So, again, it's a deep dive into your health, and that's what we are always trying to do. I'll tell you something. It's amazing that you're able to give us all of this information and you tie it together so well, helping them to see that this is an examination just like a doctor's examination with a scientific approach. And that's not just because you're a scientist, it's because you had the training as well, you see, there in New York. So we're grateful for that. So now, here's the other thing. When it comes to, we've talked over the years about things like Qigong and things like that. And I know that you mentioned to me a while back, you said, everything is energy. And so when it comes to working with individuals, if you find yourself transferring your energy, so to speak, that good energy to them in your work?
Okay. Before we go there, just remind me that I just want to talk about, you mentioned diabetes. And I know we just said it and it sort of just hung there. So one of the things that, and you mentioned with stress, the hormone we all stress is cortisol, right?
Mm.
And that stress would allow us, it affects the whole balance and the working of the body. Too much is not good. It will interfere with insulin.
Mm-hmm.
And insulin, we know, carries the blood from the glucose from the bloodstream into the cells. And if cortisol interferes with the function of insulin, then insulin cannot move the glucose from the bloodstream into the cell. Now you have a buildup of glucose in the bloodstream, and we call that diabetes. Yes. So
right.
that's right. So massage would work on help, since it's reducing your stress, it will reduce the level of cortisol.
Yes.
Cortisol, and then also will impact the function of insulin.
Absolutely.
So it's a chain reaction.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you brought that up, because we need to do things to reduce that cortisol, that stress, we call it the
stress hormone.
Okay.
Yes.
And like I said, the minute that bell hits in the morning, those stress levels go up. And if you want to do this, for those of you that don't believe me, take your blood sugar before you go to bed. And then when that alarm hits in the morning, get up and just take your blood sugar right then. You'll be
You don't even have
surprised.
to do that. Guys, you don't even have to do that. You can feel in your body.
You
You know,
feel
you get
it,
up and
yes.
like,
But some people just have to see the numbers to believe what I said.
yes,
You see?
yes.
So I said, okay, you go. You don't believe me? Go check your numbers. Okay? Because we don't always equate how we feel, you see, physically with data. We don't really always make that connection.
In the environment.
Yeah, we don't do that. So what's important is that we take the steps to examine things for ourselves. Okay, and that's why I love having folks like you on, like Dr. Candace Staniak, like Dr. Tamara Beckford that we had a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to have on Dr. Sharina Palencia Desai. Yes, okay, very good. She is amazing. We're going to have
Yes,
her
she
on
is.
too.
She's
And
awesome.
the point is, all of these doctors, all these scientists are saying the same thing. And what it comes down to, friends, is look, you've got to take care of yourself and take the steps. Don't sit there and wait for the doctor to tell you to get better. You get better and make him your teammate in getting better. If you don't, all they're going to do is come and talk with you, give you another pill, and then they'll come visit you in the nursing home, and then eventually someone else will come visit you, you know, and that will be the last, and that won't be the last person you see because you will have seen your last person. I'm telling you this because I've lived through it on a personal level and on a professional level. It is horrible to see that, and you don't want to be there if you can stop it. So that's why I'm so happy to have Dr. Rita with us today. You know, Doc Rita, I'm going to tell you, so you've done a lot of different things in life. You know, her story is an amazing story. We're going to have a book out. No, we're not.
They keep telling me to do it. I don't know. That has to be a mountain I need to crush.
Well, you know what? Okay, when you're ready, I'm going to work on it with you. Okay, we're going to work on it with you. I've got, in fact, I'll be putting together an anthology, a book out as an anthology of all the different ones that I've interviewed on the channel. But I'll tell you something. You know, this lady, she's a sports star in Trinidad. She's got tremendous accolades over the years. You know, so you know, then she became a scientist. Then she became a biology professor, and a health coach and a wonderful colleague. And so happy to have you here. So I have one last question I have to ask you, after which you can mop your brow. Okay, one more question.
Before you do that, you had asked me about energy.
Tell me about energy.
Talk about it.
Let's go back.
Right. You had asked me about energy. I think you were trying to ask me about what's my energy like with massage or after massage. Mm-hmm. Right. I think that's what you were going.
Yeah, the transference of energy, right?
Right. So I have done massages where when I'm done, I'm tired. I'm tired. I just want to sleep. I need to go sit. I need to go lie down. I need to go sleep because I'm so drained. Because you're picking up that person's energy. So as a massage therapist, you have to learn to, and sometimes I think I fail at this, run that energy through you. Okay. So you don't, like I've done massage naturally. It's just something I've been able to do without the training or before, like through my sports as a young person. And it was just something I would tend to do. But I never just massage anybody. My spirit had to tell me whether I should massage that person or not. But when you get into it as a profession or as a side hustle or whatever you want to call it, you don't necessarily have that luxury. So you have to, because in massage school, I was tired. There were people besides I massage people, I am tired. I learned to kind of like get that, get that energy off my hands. Otherwise, I'm tired, right? And sometimes it doesn't work because I didn't channel it right. Sometimes I massage people and I'm not tired. So You know, sometimes people just tense, they're angry, they're frustrated, whatever, and that whole thing, you pick that up,
Mm.
and then you have to get rid of it.
Yes.
Tires you out. So there's a lot of energy transfer, and there are massage therapists who do energy work.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a gentleman, Dr. Diamanto, I think, Dr. Kerry. He is also, I think, a physiotherapist. Because a lot of the people that massage therapists, when we have classes, we have people who are physiotherapists. And they will be teaching us all of what they learn, and then all the things that they've done as a massage therapist, all this thing, they combine together. And I saw this man do energy work, and I'm like, whoa. And you say, nah, that's okay. Because I'm like, okay, I got to see this. And so we have to examine the person before. So, all right, can they move? And you see, and he just pick somebody and they do it. Say, okay, such and such and such is the case. He wouldn't touch them. Do what he has to do. I don't know how he learned this. And then have the person do the same motion, and you instantly, without him touching them, see the difference. And I'm like, okay, I need to delve into this because I don't understand how this works. Part of my brain is like, all right. And the other part understands that we are made up of energy. We have positive and negative charges moving, electrons moving around atoms all the time. Otherwise, we can't do EKGs. Yes. EKG is nothing but picking up the electricity, right? Put stuff on your head, picking up electricity. Yeah. Getting something to move, getting to contract your muscle. An electron has to move from point A to point B, to point C, to point D, interact in order for you to do all of these things. So I'm like, okay, we need a way to test this. That's a scientist. We need a way to test this so I can actually see it. Maybe one day we'll get there. We do these holograms. But anyway, I digress.
You were having so much fun. I was wondering, there you go. Well, listen, as I was going to say, you've been through, you've gone through a lot, you've done a lot, and you're really touching hearts as well as lives for the better. That said, Rita Lewis, what does it mean to you to crush your mountain?
Which one of my mountains? Because we have different mountains. We have different mountains at different times of our lives, right?
Okay, well, the one that you're in right now, we don't want to put you in a time capsule. We want you to go on and move forward.
I don't want to look at them. I know they're coming. I'm just putting one foot in front of the other. I'm not looking at them. But as I said, I've had people for years telling me I need to put my story into a book. I've put together, over COVID, I did a little bit of, I wrote a couple of poems, which I think to myself I'd like to publish, but I'm like, I always back out. That's a mountain I have to climb. I'll get so far and then I'll back out, like, no, now's not the time. Not the time. But then the other one would be to find time to actually sit down and actually put together, as people always ask me about, putting my experience down in paper form. And I always tell them, if you sit and talk to me and record it, you'll get it. But if you sit and tell me to type it, it's going to take longer. But I'll tell you different things more easily. It will come up than if I sit down and try to. My brain wants to put it in chronological order, and it hasn't worked.
Well, actually, from what because I've been writing for a while, and when I do my stories, the scenes come up in my mind. When I write my poetry, it all depends on the emotion that's there, and it will flow. But the way to do a story, especially if you're writing stuff like mystery, stuff like that, even a biography, you start actually at the end and you work your way back.
That's all we have to teach, actually. When we teach science, right? Or in teaching general, called backward design. what does you want the student to learn, and then you move from there,
Yes.
right? I guess much like a project manager, what's your end point, and then you move back. But we don't see it that way, and it's not always presented to us that way.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been absolute joy. Whenever we get together, we do nothing but laugh and talk, you know. And she's so much fun. And I was in New York for 24 hours a few weeks ago, but she was in Kuwait, so it didn't matter. But we're gonna have to get a chance to, and I come up, okay. We gotta find some place that has some decent food, okay. And we know what we mean by decent food, friends, okay?
I got your roti. Got your curry.
Okay, I gotta get my roti. I gotta get my roti now, yes. And the goat, And so we gotta do that. And friends, again, that's even part of your health care when that connection is made with people that are positive, that give off wonderful energy like that. That's part of your health care too. So once again, we're going to invite you. If you want to go up to New York to find Rita, the good doctor, you can do that, okay? And you'll find her on Facebook. She's not on Instagram, but you will find her on Facebook, okay? Rita Lewis. You'll find her on LinkedIn, Dr. Rita Lewis. You'll find her there, okay? But reach out. But what's more important is that you take the time. Hey, if you can do it for once a month,
yes,
once a month. But work that into your healthcare plan. If you're one of my clients, okay, at our tier 2 level, then you know that we have that as part of our healthcare program. So do what you can to get rid of the illness, as opposed to have the doctor give you pills for your symptoms. That's the idea. Don't just climb it, crush through it. Rita, you're going to say something. I was just about to wrap it up. That's my
anyway. But I just I know that you talk about pills and stuff, right? They have been trying to make people aware of massage as an alternative to pharmacology and opioids.
Oh, really? That's a beautiful thing to end with, because so many people are addicted to the stuff. And I don't care what anybody says, those are not side effects, okay? Those are effects, all right? Those are characteristics of the pill that you're putting into your body. They're effects, not side effects, like somebody sort of showed up one day, hello, my name is Paul, I'm going to speak with, no. These are effects, you see? So if you can avoid that and use something that is natural, use something that can help your body do it in the gradual way that your body is supposed to function, using its own energies, its own powers, then that would be the better way to go, because you get rid of the problem as opposed to cover up the problem.
And your body will heal itself.
Yes.
Given the support and time. If you catch it in time, it will heal itself. That's why you sleep when you're sick.
Very good. Excellent point. That's true. Now, you know what? Even the disciples told Jesus that. Right?
No.
Yeah, the disciples told Jesus that. Jesus, Lazarus has gone to sleep. I'm going to go wake him. They said, Lord, if he's asleep, he's going to get well. Of course, they missed the point. Jesus being used that as a euphemism to tell us that Lazarus had died. But the understanding was already there that when a person is sleeping, the body is in its restorative healing state. You see? Anything else, Dr. Rita, before we close out?
I want to keep my mouth shut. I've kept you. Because we will talk for another hour.
That is true.
By the time for Sharina to come on, I'll still be talking.
That's true. That's too much.
In a while.
And I have to go eat my chicken burn up,
No, we can't have that. Although I burnt my rice.
No, no, that's a sin.
Say something else.
That's a sin. All right, well, friends, we better cut it out now, okay? Like I always say and try to say before, don't just climb your mountain, crush through it. We'll see you next time. Thank you, my dear.
All right.